19 people were arrested by Sri Lanka police on Thursday evening following a protest in Colombo. Sri Lanka police said the suspects were arrested by the Cinnamon Gardens, Slave Island, Borala police stations and the Kalaniya Crimes Division. 16 of the suspects were released on a personal bail of 500,000 rupees each by the Colombo Additional Magistrates Court. Venerable Galbava Siridhamma Thera, Prashantha Jeevantha Gunathilaka and Wasantha Mudalige were not released on bail. The 16 suspects who were released on bail were charged with unlawful assembly and obstructing the duties of police officers by blocking the road. Colombo Additional Magistrate TNL Ilangasinghe issued an overseas travel ban on actor Jehan Apuhami, who is charged with escaping from police custody following Thursday's protest. The additional magistrate made the order following a request made by the Slave Island police. Sri Lanka police told court that the Inter-University Students' Federation, instead of protesting at Lipton Circus, had attempted to proceed to Fort via Union Place by blocking the roads. Sri Lanka police pointed out that the student protesters had assaulted police officers and obstructed their duties. Sri Lanka police told the court that they arrested the suspects who defied a police order to disperse from the area. Police requested the court to remand the 16 suspects until the investigations were completed. However, President's Counsel Salia Peiris, appearing for the student activists, told court that the submissions by the Sri Lanka police were fabricated and false. The President's Counsel told the court that a large police force from Union Place chased after the peaceful protesters at Lipton Circus and repeatedly attacked them. President's Counsel Salia Peiris stressed that the allegations made by police claiming that the student activists hurled stones at the police officers is completely false. He said that Sri Lanka police were making inaccurate submissions to portray the peaceful protest as one that was unlawful. President's Counsel Rienzi Alsakularatne, who was also appearing for the suspects, noted that Sri Lanka police had not informed the court of the offence committed by the protesters to term their protest as an unlawful one, when the protest itself contained slogans demanding the reopening of universities and to bring down the cost of living. The President's Counsel noted that Sri Lanka police had exploited the law. Upon considering the submissions made by the Council, the court ordered for the 16 suspects to be released on bail and fixed the 12th of September as the next court date for the case.
At the time of the arrest, the activists were assaulted inside a van and SUV. The victims of the assaults were present here. The people are under pressure from the government. When we speak of that, they use suppression. The Inter-University Students' Federation will not back down. This is the democracy of Ranil Wickremesinghe, who claimed to have a wealth of knowledge. That Ranil Wickremesinghe is now launching brutal attacks, and the people witnessed it. The detention orders are made under the Prevention of Terrorism Act. Police produced a B report on the protest, but did not mention any act that related to an act of terror or to topple the government. A separate detention order was obtained against Wasantha Mudalige for those who were chased. That is unjust, and it is clear why they have been using the PTA. People voicing dissent against the government are being arrested under the PTA, irrespective if they are from the north or south. Ranil Wickremesinghe's government is using the PTA to suppress those who are against the government. This is an attempt to use the detention orders bearing the signature of the Secretary of Defence to detain Aragalaya protesters, trade union leaders, farmers and student activists. They are trying to do so without producing any charges. The Secretary of Defence even has the authority to exercise the Prevention of Terrorism Act. Now they introduced a new section under the emergency law that the local police chief of that particular area has the full authority to impose a detention order that can last up to 2 weeks. And now they are exploiting the PTA against the protesters. The PTA was exercised back then when there were armed struggles in Sri Lanka. The regular people of this country who are protesting because they don't have food to eat now are being treated with the same regulations. Concerns were raised at media briefings over the arrests of student activists. We would like to clearly tell Ranil Wickremesinghe that if you continue to detain Wasantha Mudalige with detention orders, there would be a turning point in Sri Lanka's political sphere. If that is how you are planning on solving the issues in the country, we are ready to face it. There is a massive pressure from the international community to remove the Prevention of Terrorism Act, especially from countries that focus on democracy. Ranil is trying to do this by deceiving all of them. Ranil, we challenge you to do it if you can. If you identify the activists who are trying to change society and who are trying to provide relief to the people as terrorists, then this is a time when hundreds of thousands of terrorists are coming into society. University students and the public are uniting in a struggle against the current regime. We would like to inform the administration, including Ranil Wickremesinghe, that we will never bow down to your suppression. Ranil Rajapaksa is trying to take our country to the next level. The next level is where he creates a mafia to privatize the state assets. The response to Ranil will be stronger than what Gotabaya got. They are trying to suppress the student movements, labour movements and youth organizations. President Ranil Wickremesinghe says that the crisis will erupt in about 3 months. They are trying to suppress the people. The violence inflicted by the police is an issue when there's no other violence.